So fasten your seatbelts for half an hour of Spice action. Exclusive reporter Mark Eccleston is your guide.
We're here.
They're estimated to have earned £8 million each this year. They've sold over 25 million albums and singles. They've appeared on the front page of The Sun 51 times. And their reported fee for advertising a product is
£1 million.
When you're feeling sad and low, we will take you where you gotta go.
The hysteria and the hype begins this week with the release of the album that many believe will be the biggest record of the year, Spice World. The second album from the Spice Girls, and with the opening single, the Feisty Five are making the promise to spice up your life. It's been just over a year since their debut album, Spice, put the girls on the top of the pop map. And Jerry, Emma, Mel B, Mel C and Victoria have no doubts that the latest record will put their past effort in the shade. Some boast when Spice has already sold 18 million copies.
First album you got was, I would say, 2 years behind. We'd written that, you know, a long time ago. So this album is so up to date. It's up to date for the Spice Girls, you know, where we are.
Obviously, we wanted to write the album as well fresh, and we wanted to travel the world, pick up different cultures, pick up different sounds, and that's what we did with our second album.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say the second album is the flipping pants, mate. If you like Spice, you're gonna love Spice.
I like it. You're on one today. I like that.
I'm so proud of our second album.
Come on,
Critically
then,
said,
Mel.
I say, come on!
Clearly the girls have had fun with the sci-fi imagery in a video that's pitched in the hyperspace between films like The Fifth Element and Blade Runner. The pastiche shows the band have proved themselves as keen to play with their look as their sound. So the new single, Spice Up Your Life, it's got a real Latin feel to it. But the video, what's going on with that? It's like you, in this Blade Runner world, and you're taking a spaceship all over the shop.
You know us lot, we like to do things different, do you know what I mean? It would be so obvious to have like a big carnival video, and we thought, nah, that's too obvious, man. We've got to make everyone think, what are they up to?
on?
It's like,
And we have.
But eager Spice watchers have been quick to spot the array of fake product placements and corporate rip-offs of American coffee bars and burger joints that laid in the video. It's a permanent reminder that the Spice Girls have become more than a pop phenomenon, more than a band. They're now a viable commercial brand.
Next stage, next grade, next
The
wave.
Spice brand is now associated with products as diverse as soft drinks, cameras, deodorants, crisps, supermarkets and television stations.
Spice Girls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, we're tongue-in-cheek about everything we do, do you know what I mean? I mean, that's all we tongue-in-cheek. Can't take it all too seriously, can you?
But it is serious. A serious business worth millions of pounds to advertisers, merchandisers and, of course, the girls themselves. Just for helping to launch the McLaren's new Formula One car in February, each Spice Girl was presented with a free £45,000 Mercedes. Advertising guru John Hegarty, whose agency signed up the Spice Girls for Polaroid, says they're a selling phenomenon.
I think what's happened with the Spice Girls is that they now live beyond being just a simple band. They represent a point of view. They represent a point of view of optimism, of enthusiasm, and brands that sort of reflect that want to kind of plug into it.
To the casual observers, it might seem like the Spice Girls will put their name to anything, but there is a method to the choice of the myriad of Spice-endorsed products. They cover just about everything the young female audience might need for a slumber party.
What are we going to do now?
We have, you know, done it very carefully, and there's a few little surprises coming out at Christmas, so you'll have to wait. It's not overdone, but I think, you know, we're quite happy with it, aren't we?
yeah, that's one thing, you know, everything that comes in the Spice Girls, I mean, there's a lot of unofficial stuff out there, which look out for, don't buy it because it's rubbish. But everything we put our names to officially is good quality.
Throughout their short career, the girls have kept a careful control on all their merchandising too. In fact, the Spice Girls have taken out more trademarks than any other pop band, and they get a percentage for every official t-shirt, book, poster, keychain or bag with their name attached to it. Amazingly, the story of how 5 girls sold 7 million singles and 18 million albums started just 16 months ago when the wannabe pop stars released their first single. Vince Monzi of cable TV music station The Box was the first person to play the wannabe video. It was an instant hit, receiving more play requests than any other video.
They arrived at the offices with only about 15 minutes notice on the phone that they were coming. Basically, they stormed our operation here. They got on the desks and danced. They ran around the whole building, amused everybody in the production control room downstairs, and we knew they certainly had the energy to go forward.
So instant was their success that many thought the band had come from nowhere, but the foundations were laid with years of hard work already put in. Even before they became the Spice Girls, they were working together under the name Touch. One person who knows is Leanne Morgan, a singer who auditioned for the group but failed, the final place eventually going to Baby Emma. Songwriter Irwin Kells is another name from the beginning of the band's days. He was the first musician to work with them after the girls were brought together.
We thought we've got everything to gain by having them record one of our tracks and seeing if we can't get it placed. So they came in, they recorded it, and we played it to a few people. They liked our song, but there was no interest in the girls at the time. And they continued to use that song, which is called We're Gonna Make It Happen, for their showcases and that. And at one of these showcases, obviously somebody from Virgin, etc., saw them, and they got signed.
Although many dismissed the band as a one-hit wonder when their debut single made the top spot, the Spice Girls were at the start of a run of #1 singles. Say You'll Be There shot straight into the top spot. The video for the single saw the Spices flirt for the first time with the appropriation of movie imagery. Where Spice Up Your Life borrows from sci-fi films, the striking girl power desert style of Say You'll Be There was taken directly from Russ Meyer's little-known cult classic, Faster Pussycat Kill Kill.
Let's just time Lancelot as he comes.
The band followed this with the Christmas #1, Two Become One, and then the double A-sided single Who Do You Think You Are and Mama. When that last record topped the charts, they became the first band in Britain ever to go to #1 with their first 4 singles. Quite simply, the girls had achieved more with their first 4 singles than most bands do with an entire career, and they knew it.
We are in an unbelievable position at our age. You know, what we've done in this short amount of space of time, it's amazing.
But there was more success to come. Following Britain, the rest of the world was to succumb to the irresistible pull of girl power. During the first year, they scored #1 hits in 53 countries, but their greatest success was in America.
I wanna be a part of it. New York, New York.
The girls' nearest British rivals in sales terms are Oasis. But while the bad boys of rock had to crisscross America on 9 grueling occasions to break into the all-important album top 10, the Spice Girls took just 2 months to get to #1. It followed the chart-topping success of Wannabe, the first time since the Beatles that a British group had hit the top with a debut single. No wonder they celebrated with champagne.
And I think we came over here with an attitude of, we've got to start from square one, it's going to take a lot of work. Whereas I think a lot of bands come out here with a bit of an attitude of, you know, oh, we've been successful in Europe, so they don't have to work as hard.
Before the Spice Girls, the music business enjoyed a love affair with the boy band. Groups like Take That and Boyzone were regular chart toppers.
Spice Girls have dominated the market so much, above everybody, not just pop, above rock, above everything, dance music, everything.
7, 6, 5.
In the last 12 months, though, the blueprint has been ripped up, and the Spice's success has led to an inevitable stream of imitators.
Swing it, shake it, move it, make it, who do you think you are? Trust it, use it, prove it, groove it, show me how good you are.
The charts are already facing an onslaught from feisty girl gang pop groups cast from the Spice Girls mould.
We've had bands like All Saints, Entice, and even the band from EMI called Vanilla.
We're always together, never apart. Sisters through and through.
But copying the format isn't the same as copying the success. Ian Levine, a producer who worked on Take That's first album.
However they were put together and everything, they are fabulous, sassy, dazzling and star quality. Otherwise they wouldn't have captured the public imagination.
Running roughshod over pop convention, the Spice Girls managed to achieve a level of press support and cultural credibility that previous teen bands like Take That could only dream of.
they're kind of a cultural phenomenon far beyond their actual musical worth. I mean, that's clear. You want to be on the Spice Girls' side, really. I think defining yourself against them does mean that you're the kind of boring bloke who sits on the stairs at parties and tries to bring everyone else down.
And the famous five backed that critical praise with a collection of important trophies. At the Ivor Novello Awards, the girls collected 2 of the weighty statuettes. Within a month, they were carrying off the gold at 2 more ceremonies, the Brit Awards and the Capital Radio Awards, where the Spice Girls followed their rivals Oasis onto the winner's podium and into a war of words. Noel Gallagher had used his thank you speech to take a jibe at the Spice Girls' lack of live performances.
It's about time the Spice Girls do some gigs, I think.
But the Spice Girls gave as good as they got.
Did anybody notice how Noel Gallagher ran out after he said that?
By the time Wannabe scooped Best Dance Single at the MTV Music Video Awards in America, the band had conquered the world with a pop plan done to perfection.
I don't believe it! Yeah, we're very surprised.
I don't believe it! They spent a long time planning their career before they set about making a record. It was 5 years planning, so they knew exactly what they wanted. They knew they wanted to have an international career, they knew they wanted to make films, they knew they wanted to become a worldwide success.
The girls had come from nowhere to international stardom. But how would they react when the Spice Girls' Summer of Love came to an end and the critics started to look for cracks in their armour?
The Spice stories so far. Emma, Mel B, Mel C, Jerry and Victoria are rich, famous and have the world's media in the palms of their hands. But what everyone wants to know is, can the girls actually sing?
They know they're not the greatest singers in the world. They know they're not the greatest dancers in the world. They're very honest about that, and that, I think, is actually part of their charm.
Coming up now, Exclusive's Mark Eccleston reports on the Spice Girls' miracle management, their forthcoming tour, Money, their new film.
The Spice Girls' new album might be called Spice World, but many in the music business would say the world is theirs already. Such has been the girls' phenomenal success. In less than 6 months, the Spice Girls sold over 18 million copies of their first album, notching up 70 platinum discs in over 35 countries. But for all the Spice Girls' unstoppable success, there was one accusation that they just couldn't shake, the suggestion of being a manufactured band.
Well, that's done.
Girl power! Girl power!
The girl power image belied the fact that behind the public face of the band, many of the moves had been orchestrated by their remarkable management team, who'd plotted and executed one of the most successful pop campaigns of all time. The most important of whom is Simon Fuller, the band's manager. Like most of the team behind the Spices, he doesn't give interviews. One journalist who knows him well, though, is music industry reporter Paul Gorman.
I think he probably is a wizard. I think he's, pulled off some strokes which no other British manager has managed to do, particularly, looking globally.
The other leading men in the girls' lives are the songwriters Richard Stannard and Matt Rowe, seen here at the Ivor Novello Awards. They're the heartbeat of the Spice Girls sound. They've written the group's 3 biggest hits, Two Become One, Mama and Wannabe.
They're no doubt fundamental to the success because, they've already established themselves with acts like East 17 and a whole range of pop acts. So they have their chops down, they know exactly what they're doing.
So how much do the Spice Girls, who were given writing credits on all their songs, actually contribute to the making of their music?
Exactly what the Spice Girls bring to the table is anybody's guess. But it's understood that they have very limited musical, technical ability, but they have a wealth of ideas, the kind of unstoppable flow, which experienced pop songwriters use to their advantage.
They've done a great job as well, but without the people behind them, they wouldn't exist. And if they hadn't found those 5 girls, I really believe they would have found another 5 girls.
And naturally, it's something the 5 Spice stars have always strongly denied.
Our management, we're cool, we're like a dream team, so everything's pretty focused, so that's cool.
Do they tell you what they want?
No.
Or you tell them what
It's a kind of give and take advice thing, it's a two-way thing.
I think people realise that the Spice Girls are in it for what they can possibly get, but at the same time I think they realise that they're quite genuine about their sense of fun. And they are genuine, you can't fake that.
However, as the band continued to perform PAs rather than sing live, doubts about their vocal abilities refused to dissipate. Owen Kells insists that although they did use vocal coaches, singing was never a problem.
They could all sing. They all had reasonable voices and that. It's just a matter of needing somebody with experience to actually go through the motions of teaching them how to harmonize properly and how to match their vocals.
And this early performance, recorded before the release of Wannabe, proves it.
Even though we're all doing our own thing, can't you see we're all playing the game? Pushing the clubs, cue jumping, giving all the boys a grief, giving our cheek and attitude, keeping our love and breathe. Pushing the clubs, cue jumping, giving all the boys a grief, giving our cheek and attitude, keeping our love and breathe.
In May 1997, the girls fought back publicly with a feisty Cannes Film Festival appearance where they both announced their plans for a film and performed live.
All that I want from you is a promise you will be there. Say you will be there.
I think they're kind of quite phenomenal. I hadn't realised until I saw them at that press conference how kind of cool and relaxed and funny they are.
But a cappella snatches of their songs is one thing, and a full live concert is entirely another. And for the girls, the real test comes with their imminent world tour.
Are you pretty much apprehensive about the whole thing?
No, I can't wait! I think this is it. This is what people have been waiting for. Well, I hope you have anyway. Do you know what I mean? This is our time to get up and give back to our fans. Do you know what I mean? Something that is needed. And it's a good chance for us lot to perform and show the world what we're made of. Exactly.
And we're rehearsing very hard at the moment.
Yeah.
So will they be walking into a lion's den with the critics, many of whom have been waiting for them to slip up? If so, the girls aren't scared.
Even if people say, oh my God, it was awful, it's like, we are going to do the best that we can do.
And who's the critic anyway? A big fat balding bloke that's got no ideas. At the end of the day, if you ask a 4-year-old child who's got the most honest opinion anyway, when you say, oh, do I look awful today, they'll tell you the truth. So I think that's the highest compliment is from a child.
And with the money that's pouring in, why should they worry about the critics? But are they tax exiles? Recent newspaper reports say they've quit Britain to save a staggering £32 million in tax. It's a front-page headline the girls are not afraid to meet head-on, saying they've contributed plenty to the country and they're not tax dodging.
We have actually created, you know, a lot of money, you
Go
know,
on, Vicky.
through the country. I think, to be honest with you, I think we've paid a hell of... I mean, we have paid a lot of tax.
I don't want to talk about tax because I don't
All
even
right.
really understand it. Go on.
It pays for like the national health system and things like that.
But we're
You know.
Bupa.
So I read in the papers today that you're all going to move into this massive chateau in Nice.
Wrong!
Incorrect.
They may not be residents of France, but they've certainly upped sticks from this country, and they're not coming back for a long time.
No, sorry, 11 months and 2 days.
Completing the filming of the Spice Girls movie was one of the last things they did before Sporty, Scary, Ginger, Posh and Baby packed their bags. It'll be out on Boxing Day, but for those who can't wait, the guessing about the secret plot stops here.
Basically, it's about 5 days in the life of the Spice Girls leading up to a huge tour. It's colourful, it's fun.
Go on, Vicky.
You know, even I wear a bit of colour
In
occasionally.
fact, we've been conning everyone. It's actually a period costume brand.
The girls handpicked the all-star cast, which included Richard E. Grant, Roger Moore and Gary Glitter. So, who was their favourite?
Gary Glitter was great. He's such a pro. As soon as the cameras turn on, he's there.
Yeah, they're all right. The Spice Girls are cool. I enjoyed every minute of it.
I think everybody that took part in that movie was, you know, we had a massive casting list, okay, but then finally, who we
had to be
picked.
realistic,
Yeah,
didn't we?
realistic. But everyone we picked is very appropriate and just does the part justice. I mean, Victoria Adams just blows them away. And so does Mel and Emma now, well, never mind Roger Moore.
You'll have to see it. It's out on Boxing Day.
But will they be adding any Oscars to their other awards?
We prepared our speeches.
Yeah, and our gowns, I'll have you know.
Yeah. No, I mean, at the end of that day, that movie, we've tried our best. It's, it's a comedy. It's not just about us anyway. Hopefully it's appealing to people that don't even like Spice Girls. We take the piss out of ourselves, take the piss out of the media, everything. She isn't. She's really going for it.
We take the mickey.
It's Channel 5.
It's Channel 5 and a bit.
Cool.
Where other bands have split up, like Take That, or nearly imploded like Oasis, the Spice Girls seem to be resilient to the 7 days a week, 16-hour-a-day work that sustains their level of pop stardom. But if you think they've conquered the world, they certainly think this is just the start.
We're in the UK in April, isn't it? Also going to be running for government, changing the world, and nothing more than that, really.
See ya, hold tight.